Hey guys, it's Kristen and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a book tag. Okay, so this is the smell test book tag and it was created by Tina at Crack a Book with Tina. She is new to Booktube and I was so happy to come across her page and I saw that she made this original book tag and I loved it. So I'm gonna link her video and channel down below. Go check her out because she's great. And so is this tag. The thing that made me really want to do this tag is because as a reader, I love the feel and the smell of books. I mean, don't we all? Is that not one of the draws to this hobby? It was a big reason why I was so resistant to e-readers back when I read before I took my my 10-year reading break. I was gifted a Nook back when they were super popular, and while I downloaded a few books on it, I still didn't use it. I appreciate e-readers now though because I don't have space to be storing all those books. I had space when I was younger and I lived in my family home, but now I don't. So there are 6 prompts to this tag and here we go. The first prompt is new bookstore smell, fresh and vibrant. What book series have you fallen in love with this year? So this year, like without a doubt, I'm gonna have to go with Akatar by Sarah J. Maas. It was like the first fantasy series that I read this year when I was coming out of my reading hiatus. And it drew me in and enticed me so good. I read all 3 of those chunky books in 1 month and I loved it. Also, Climbing the Church is the Poppy War. My heart was racing towards the end of that book and I am so hyped to get to the Dragon Republic. And I know it's gonna be good. I know it. And I know that the 3rd one that comes out later this year is also gonna be good. So those battle for position. The next prompt is used bookstore smell, a mixture of musky and new. What book series do you consider a hidden gem? I'm gonna ram this book into the freaking ground and say The Women's War by Jenna Glass. It deserves more attention. It does. It's such a good story. When you go through like the Goodreads reviews, people are so disappointed by it because it's not like their perfect vision of what feminism is, but you have to take into account the world that this is set in and how feminist for that world the story is. And I think that's where the appreciation comes from. And it's good. I mean, it's not the greatest world building, but it's good world building. And I really find the magic system interesting. It's elemental. And yeah, I don't know. Just, it's a good book. Like, it deserves more love. The next prompt is library book smell. Like used bookstore smell, but a little sharper. The question is, what books do you and your friends trade back and forth? Or what kind of book do you always check out from the library and read before you buy? So I have no reading friends in my immediate circle of like people. So I don't really trade any books. My mom like chucks me a few books every now and then when she's just trying to get rid of them. We're not like trading to see like, oh, who's got some good books. She's just trying to pass them off on me because she doesn't want to deal with them. But for the second part of this question, or the alternate question, what kind of book do you always check out from the library before you buy it? Most of my books. I do try to utilize my library services because I have such limited space in my house to store owned books. but that I do buy books very seldomly. I try at least. But if I read a book and that I've loaned out from the library and I absolutely adored it, I will buy it. Like, I bought all the Simon Verse books after I read them through my library. Yeah, so I will generally try to read everything through my library if I can stand to wait that long. And if I really love it, then I'll buy it. Sometimes I do get a little impulsive and I'll just buy a book off the cuff. So the next prompt is new hardback book smell. Not as good as a paperback. That is subjective. I don't necessarily think I agree with that sentiment. But the question is, what book have you read where you were expecting one thing but got something totally different? And I can interpret this question a few different ways. I can think of it as, what book was I expecting to be good and it was not, which I can run these series into the ground too. Santa Claire, Shadow and Bone. Or I can also interpret this as, I was so into this book and by the end of it, there was like a major twist that fucking got me. And that would be The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I was into this book. I read it before I watched the series, and I was so into this book. And at the end of it, how it ends, I don't know. I had so many feelings, and like it was one of those times when I really wished that I had people in my real life to talk about books with, because I wanted to talk about it, but nobody I know had read it, which is also part of the reason that I kind of wanted to start a booktube channel, was this book and my reaction to the end of it. So there's two ways to look at that question. Those are my two answers. The next prompt is new paperback book smell, heaven of the book smells. Again, subjective. The question is, where's your perfect reading place? And I don't really have one. Most of my reading takes place in the dark in my bed when I should be asleep. I do have a chair in my living room. It is an oversized armchair meant for me to cuddle up with my books, but have I done a lot of reading there? No, I haven't. So that would be my ideal place, but none of my reading happens there. And the last prompt is used book smell. I didn't write down the whole caption thing that follows, but it started with interesting. I remember it. And the question is, what book do you not like the cover but love the book? Okay, I'm gonna have to bring this one back to The Women's War by Jenna Glass. Okay, I picked this book up after seeing it on Jessie's channel, The Bookish Mom, because it sounded freaking fantastic. And I didn't know that it was going to be a series. I thought it was just a standalone book that was going to be a good time. And so I bought it, and this is what it looked like, which was great. I thought this was a fine cover. And then I found out that it was a series, and they released the second book, which looked like this. And I think this cover is stunning. They reimagined the first book's cover to match the theme, and now it looks like this, and it makes me mad. I like the new cover better than the old one. Another book that I feel fits into this question is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Neffinger. I was surprised by how much I loved this book, but I don't like the cover. I just think it's weird. It doesn't add anything to the overall feeling. It's kind of weird to have a young girl's feet next to a pile of men's clothes, even if they are outside. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It could have been I don't know, a clock or something, hourglass. I feel like there could have been a better cover choice. But yeah. And that's it. That is the smell test book tag. If you are in love with the smell of books and bookstores and anything bookish, do the tag. It's easy and it's a really fun one. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.